What were you whistling when you came in?
The Andy Griffith
show. Okay. I just
You're
gave my
killing
age
it.
away.
Yeah, you got us. You got us hooked.
John, your father was a minister, and
Yeah.
I was wondering how that feels, for you now to be on The Exorcist, how it feels. Like, is there any kind of real relationship there? I know you're really close to your
Oh,
father.
did I think about?
Is that why you chose the role?
No. I chose the role based upon the character that they pitched to me. It was just a tremendous arc going through it, and there was a lot of interesting things about the character. As far as I was concerned about how far we would take it, how blasphemous it would get, and network television thankfully prevents me from going places that I'm a little uncomfortable with. I also didn't necessarily want to see violence committed upon children. That was something I was keen upon. I mean, suggested, but I didn't want to see it, So those are some areas that I was concerned about. But I'm comfortable. I'm thrilled with the results of the show. It's hard making a show week to week, and the quality level has been exceptional from my vantage point. So, to your question about, I actually have been a little, stumped by, saw the original movie and was stumped by why it was it's considered so blasphemous. See why, but on the other hand, it does seem like it suggests that God is real and the devil is real, which the Bible does also. So it's, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure. Maybe it's just the imagery, but anyway, that was a deeply unsatisfying answer. I apologize. Next question.
I know a lot of viewers are very excited to see you as a dad. So can you talk about, you just mentioned not wanting to see violence sort of inflicted on children. Can you talk a little bit about what you've brought from your own experience as a dad and your own sort of fears to playing a dad on screen?
Yeah, it's not like something I think about so much, but I was but it was a factor in me taking the role. I wanted to see what happened with me and children, and it's been. I have found that my own experience has enriched the playing of that role. I enjoy. There's it's something new to care about on screen for me. It's not getting the burgers, but saving the children. But yeah, it's very easy to. Maybe it's because I'm a dad. It's just very easy to care about children.
Is it easier to play scary or scared as a father, or is it?
Sure, when the kids are, again, the stakes are very high. I guess that's the fun of the show. It's like, what's at stake? Your children, your soul, your life. It's all extreme stakes all the time.
Because the topics are so heavy and so dark, how do you kind of get that out of your system?
Yeah, that's a good question. I generally don't have a problem with that, but we've had a few. I tell you, these last few weeks have been so dark for me as an actor, and I found that I was coming home just a little depleted, which is why I started a very intense heroin habit.
Good cure for the ills right there.
I'm going to be honest, it's out of hand. it is not so much, you know, the gothic visuals or whatever. It's just, you know, being in peril all the time and worrying about your family members and your soul. It's just the constant, and the grief. It does. You just spend time there, and it's very hard not to be affected at some point.
What's it like playing Andrew Kim in The Exorcist compared to your last role in another horror series, in Sleepy Hollow?
Well, I'm just trying to remember.
Good old
It's been a
Andy
while.
with his neck twisted around.
Yeah, I just, you know, to me, the difference is Andy's world is much bigger, and his character past is much broader and deeper, and he's dealing with stuff that's just very, very recent and very current. And you know, I guess in some ways I didn't regard Sleepy Hollow as a horror show. So I didn't see it. This is my first time entering a job thinking about a different film language, you know. And it was one of the reasons why I wanted to do it. Was I was curious about. I wanted to learn what it was and learn how to be in this world. And it's been very interesting to me to pick up some of the vocabulary, the vocabulary of the genre, and learning it and how it affects performance. But yeah, it's just I've just been a student on this.
You've spoken at length about the portrayal of Asian Americans in film, about how they always get stereotypical roles. And you actually turned down a voice acting opportunity a few years ago because you didn't like the idea of, you know, they wanted you to do an Asian accent and how that would come off to children to laugh at that, you know, indirectly at that kind of thing. And recently, a fellow actress named Chloe Benet did an entire interview about how she felt she was discriminated against until she changed her last name. So I was wondering your thoughts on that, and in general about the current state of, you know, Asian Americans in film and TV.
Okay. So what? Pick a question. What do you?
Essentially, what do you think about what that actress said recently? Do you think it's still true that a last name makes a difference in the audition world?
I have no experience from which to speak about that. I've always had an Asian last name and an Asian face, so I've never been able to, you know, deceive anyone.
Do you feel roles are improving for Asian Americans, or do you feel that it's still the same?
Here's the deal. There are more Asians on television. The question is, what are they doing on television, and in film? And the second level of question would be, how does the way the business works allow for people? Is there a system in place by which Asians are considered for lead roles and are written for? I would say no, and that is the problem. It's not so much counting the number of faces and seeing an uptick. It's Chris Rock, I think, said what you really want is an opportunity to be terrible. Like, at this point, it seems like for a person, from my vantage point as an Asian American, you basically have to be Jackie Robinson, and the best that ever was, you know, rather than to get a shot like everyone else does to play in the majors. You have to be the best that ever played. because the system isn't geared to look for you, and that's really the issue. So until the system is set up so that it looks comprehensively, then we're not there. So it's not so much results based. It's like, what is the process? So I think people look at shows on television, see count faces, and go, "Oh, that's better." But and that may be true today. It may not be true tomorrow. Season to season. But
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.